No special guests. Nothing on the dock. You know what that means?
Buckle
You do
up.
not want to watch this. No. Stay out. Only Familia invited. Maybe a little bit on the comment made about Lecrae on politics.
Maybe.
Buckle up.
Battle to the death, fighting till I take my last breath. Till there's nothing left, till this flesh, till this past tense. Got up on the fence, henceforth this intense. I was lost, now a friend, now a force with the pen for the Lord.
Yes, yes, yes. What up, everybody?
Yes, y'all.
Ladies
you don't
and
stop.
gentlemen.
Yes, y'all.
It is the Juan Marrio Esco live. Leave it. Con Gil Vigue.
Vegan. First of all, I'm not a vegan.
Because he's vegan.
And it's Vargas.
No special guest today. So, yeah, we're just gonna, we're gonna do our thing. Shout out to our peoples. We get these hand claps going. Shout out to our listeners. GH3 Radio, 520 Radio, God's Music Radio, SCM Radio, Redeem Project Radio, YouTube was good, Facebook was good, Twitch was good, Periscope, what's up? The Unashamed Network was good, Godify, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbean, D2LProductions.com, wherever you listen to this. Here in the YouTube, what up? My live audience, I love y'all
Peter Piper
too.
picked the peppers.
I love y'all too. Be sure to check out D2LProductions.com. D2, the number 2L, Productions.com. Subscribe to our YouTube. Hit that bell. Check out our blogs, albums, reviews, and stuff like that on the website. Join the email list. Check out our hotline. We got that open today. Oh, it's all up in my face right now. Hold on. Let me move that. Let me turn these. All right, let me turn these claps down real quick. Can I move that real quick on the fly? Is that all right?
Oh, the hand?
The numbers, man. It's like,
Why?
It's like, man, get that phone out my. The phone is all up in my face. You don't see it?
Why are you not using the controller?
No, I gotta move it with the mouse.
Oh, you gotta move it.
Yeah, but that's all right. Hit up the line 774-243-0385. That's gonna be open today too, so I'll put that back up in a sec.
Feel free to call in.
Check out Me Live Picks. Be sure to like that. I gotta update it, I know, but there's like 20 tracks on there that are fire.
Yeah.
So go check it out. Recap last episode 132. Super dope. You can cut these claps out. Hold on, my bad. Super dope. Last episode 132. Pray, push, persevere.
Super dope.
We had AI the Anomaly come through. God Over Money artist, CEO, creative director of Get Focused Productions. She came through to talk about her upcoming album. She shared a little bit of her testimony. What's the name of the upcoming acrylic? Souls Acrylic.
Souls Acrylic, yep.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it says
Fire.
right on the page right there.
Cool.
Right on the picture.
There you go.
That you made.
Oh, my bad. Oh, yeah, right there.
Souls Acrylic,
Bam.
right there. Bang.
What's up?
Algo en tu
What
cara
up?
me fascina.
Talk about Angie Rose. or Gil gave her a nickname. What was the nickname?
Nari Maria.
Oh, thank
And I
God.
feel like I have to say it that way.
Thank God you said
Nari
that.
Maria.
Because all right, cool. Yeah, we talked about. Oh, she corrected us, by the way. We said album, and she jumped on the
I'm glad she jumped on that.
the Instagram. Was like, it's not the album, it's the EP. I'm like,
Oh, well. Perdón, I'm sorry.
you know how we do. It's Marrio
I'm
Esco
sorry,
Live.
Angie.
Like, you gotta fact check it. You know
You
what though?
forgive
I think
Nari Mario.
I think. Hold up. What should I do here? I don't know.
That's a power up, I guess.
I guess, yeah. What do I want to say? I wanted to
We
say
were talking
something,
about
whatever.
Angie.
You interrupted me and said a joke, but it was all right. Cool. Yep. Angie Rose corrected us, jumped in.
Yeah.
Was like, no, Familia. She even used Familia. She's like, no, it's the EP.
We use that term.
What's wrong with you?
Who will coin it first?
Oh, I was gonna say about fact checking us. I said our percentages with the biblical truth that's got to be up there though. We're good. We're good
Yeah,
there.
we're good there.
We're good there, right?
Yeah.
As long as we're good there. It's like if we ain't good there, then
we are
what is we
utter
doing?
complete failures.
What is we doing for real?
To humankind. It's like you're not even faithful in your own face.
So, Familia, Frankie was good. I see you, man. Family in the house.
Was good.
So yeah, we had we talked about Angie Rose, talked about Rapzilla's Awards 2020. And Viacom CBS reports joining the streaming world with Paramount Plus.
Did you have to say it like that?
And then of course we shared AI the Anomaly, Relentless, and
the
Preach
Anomaly
as the featured music. So if any of that interests you, go check out last episode 132, Pray, Push, Persevere.
Oh, that little lady from the east side.
Shout out to AI.
Super dope.
The Anomaly.
Check out the
Album drops on the 29th, this Friday.
I haven't been like this
3 days away
for a rapper in a while, man.
Be sure to go peep
dope.
that. It was dope having her on. She killed it.
She's not your average rapper, that's for sure.
Facts. Dope, cool. So, no special guest today. It's just me and Gil. Me and Gil rocking. And,
I hope you love us enough to stay.
So it's cool, man. It's probably going to be like a slow, chill day.
We rock. We don't need a guest. Shoot. The Marrio Esco live with Gil Vargas. It ain't the Marrio Esco live with some guests and Gil Vargas.
Nah, the guest is dope. The guest is dope to have because, obviously highlighting the artists and everything. But
no, I love the artist part.
Dolo?
I'm just saying we don't. It's not that it's a necessity. Like without the guest, the show's trash. Like you know what? I'm not. I ain't gonna say that.
I ain't afraid of.
You don't say that.
What? You don't say that. You don't say that.
Just saying. Like we could rock.
Yeah. Well, I mean. Not only was it, I don't know, was it slow? I mean, you still on you still on social media. I haven't been.
Not really.
I haven't been plugged in lately.
At least not Facebook.
So what's the talk? What's the, there's always like some talk. I see I don't know, for those who don't know James White, Pastor James White. I see he's updating his YouTube streams.
Really?
Yep. He's adding some teaching. Like this dude is like, James White. The normal way that he does his lives is that it's kind of like this, like camera right in front of his face, and then he just goes off, right?
Yep.
So now he got this like 3 different camera angles. You got like a teaching, a whiteboard, like the one that you could like the touchscreen teaching board, and he's swapping angle. Like now he's like, you know what? I'm not gonna just ramble anymore. Now I'm gonna show you all the facts.
He's doing like a top frill. Let
me show you all the facts.
Because Top Frill does like same thing.
I haven't seen Todd Frill in a minute, bro.
Yeah, but like his show is the same thing. Like it's like multiple angles.
I don't remember. I thought there were like small little trailer type stuff that he did. I know it was for his radio because Todd Frill had his radio station.
But he has like when he. Well, I mean, he doesn't do a whole show. But I'm saying like
no, this dude is like doing a lecture, like a live YouTuber field type lecture type. Like he's like. He's stepping it up. He's doing something a little bit different. He's gonna.
James White, man, that dude's on a whole nother level, man. I've never seen somebody who not only is a well-rounded, theologian, with his word, like he knows his word, but dude also memorized like the Quran. Like,
I don't know how
he'll tell you like the books of the Quran, like where the passages are, like the same way people do with the Bible. Like, first of all, 1 John 3.
That's a gift from God. Facts.
This dude does that with the Quran, with the Bible, with like, his mind is ridiculous. Like, if you guys want to know his level of like understanding and things, check out his like debates. It's ridiculous.
So that's the only time that I really started like. The only thing that I really started seeing like on my feed, every now and then I go in and I saw that caught my eye, and I was like, "What's this dude doing?"
That's like, pretty cool though.
This dude's stepping up his YouTube.
I've never seen that. Like I've seen. It's funny because I've seen fitness dudes do that.
It almost seemed
not like theology where they have like the board, like you said, and they're like that's
they're all because you notice like with everything that's happening with the politics, the left, the right, this all this stuff, then the doctrinal issues that kind of. Get brought into the picture, and people are saying, you got to stand for certain, rights, certain things or whatever. Like all these different divisions that you see that are happening, you can see kind of like some of these people that are influencers, whether they're rappers, pastors, or YouTubers, whatever it is, in the Christian sphere. You know, we're not the only artists that have a YouTube. Like a bunch of artists have their own, whether it's like YouTube or like Zadok has his sermons. Like this dude be doing Bible studies on his YouTube. Like everybody does their own thing. You got Ruslan, sort of like the CHH Gary V now. I don't know what he is, but like you got all these different people that are like, that kind of like started really taking ownership of their content, and it's interesting to watch everybody figure out the technology and how they want to use it to present, you know, their thoughts, their ideologies, you know, their arguments. Really, like there's a lot of debates happening right now, and everyone's like, yo, finding their own ways to captivate their audience and grow that out, and then plead their case at the same time. It's weird because back in the day when you had these kinds of debates, they would actually set it up in the same building, and they had a format, and one would be able to freely open up and plead his case, and then, you know, had a certain amount of time, and then the other one was freely open up and plead his case. Now we got social media where it's like, nah, I'm not going to come to the platform to debate you. I'm just going to debate you on my whole entire timeline and pretend like I don't see you. And they're on their time like, I'm going to prove you're wrong on my timeline. And it's like this whole debate that they never
I want my followers to know the truth.
Like interact with each other. They're just like, word? All right.
That's one of the reasons why I got off Facebook.
It's kind of crazy.
I kept my artist page, so, you know, I'm commenting on the, you know, on the thing for my artist page, so it's Gil Vargas. But my actual like fan, you know, regular page where I have friends and family and all that, I deleted it because I'm like, for exactly that.
Yo, lines are open too if you guys want to call.
Yeah, call through.
We'll test it. But
like people just sharing like random bits of information that's not true, you know, and then if you respond, you know, they get mad, and now you go into this fighting match, and all you was trying to do is help them and clarify, like, yo, you know, that's not true, right? You know, you should look into that, because actually trying to help, and all of a sudden you get attacked, like, oh, you're unloving, and so it's like it's not really about like before sharpening each other and like really kind of coming together. Everybody just has their own view. You either follow their view, or get off my page.
Yo, it's weird,
it's like, because what happened about sharing ideas?
You know what's strange about that is that the same thing is happening with like the streaming platforms. It's kind of similar. It's like everybody, like you had Charter Cable that had all the stations on it, but now because of streaming platforms, everybody's taking their content and they're only exclusively allowing you to enjoy their content through their own platform. So now it's basically cable again. So it's like everybody's like, it's like this ownership, weird, like build your own world. It's your own island. Yeah. Everybody has to, it's like this thing that's happening, and it's transitioning. Not only it's crossing over, not only from a business perspective, but also with influencers.
And why do you think we have Parler? Same thing. People are like, I want my own thing. I don't want Facebook. I want my own.
Do you think that's not a healthy thing? Like, we're supposed to be able to dialogue, and we're supposed to be able to open up the lines, if you will, to allow people to come in and kind of like, you know, put their point of view. That's the reason why we have creeds, right? It's because we countered heresy, you know, over time. That's the reason why we have that. To protect ourselves from going astray. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is not a healthy thing, is what I'm saying. Like James White, let's go back to, I brought up James White just because it's not a topic, it's just something that, you know, was on my mind. Yeah. But when he does his YouTube lives, like he shuts off comments. You can't say anything. You can only like, or you can unlike. You can't comment. You're not allowed to comment. There's no, that's what I'm saying though, but in a way it's kind of like, is that healthy though? I mean, you do what you want. You do what you want with your platform. It depends,
like if it's something like that where he's doing a lecture and he's opening it up for comments, then a lot of people who he's trying to teach could be distracted by all that and now not listen to him and address.
So why not do a private thing and then give those people that are really like a class? Why not do it that way? Or he wants the people to be able to He's saying you're welcome to come and sit and watch, but you can't talk. You can't say anything. That's what he's saying.
Well, if think about it, if he went to an actual place, like a lot of these people,
you'll get kicked out.
You get kicked out. Like you can't go to a college and do a conference and teaching something, or you're a person about public figure, and you're just there and
you're just a heckler.
Yeah, and you just heckler yelling some stuff in the background. Somebody's gonna come and be like, you can either be quiet. Or you gotta leave.
Be out of here.
Because it's not just about you not sharing your views. There's a time and place for that.
Yeah.
Either you wait for that time where that speaker allows for questions, or you go to a event where it's made for that. Like, okay, let's say it's like a Q&A. It's made for that.
Right.
And usually a Q&A, they do it after. So if James White chooses to never have a Q&A, he's in his right. Why not? Why does he have to be questioned on something that he's teaching? He just wants the respect to be able to get his
here's the difference.
point across.
Here's the difference. When you're going to that event, that's why it's a private event. You're coming onto my property. But when you're making it a public event,
yeah, but his page is his space. You're going to his space to see what he's saying. So you should show respect. You're going to his page. He didn't come to you. He didn't broadcast it on your page. He's broadcasting it, but this is his page. This is James White's page.
Yeah.
And now you're going to James White's page because you're like, I want to hear what he has to say. Oh, I don't like that. You know what? James White, you're wrong because actually the Bible says, like, that's not the place to do that.
Okay. All right. So forget about James White. He does what he does with his YouTube. What about just the idea, dude? Like, just the idea of like, having the respect to be able to go back and forth. I don't mean at your church or your event. I mean...
Oh, yeah. If just in general, yeah, I 100% agree. Like, I don't think people should be censored whatsoever. It just has to be respectful is how you're going about it. Like, there's a time and place for it, basically. But I 100% believe that if someone has a view, they should be able to share it, especially if the person is speaking against something or, something that you're passionate about and they're open and they're having that kind of dialogue. Heck yeah. I think someone should stand up and be like, yo, actually, that's wrong. Or I agree. Whatever it is. I wouldn't, like, especially what's going on right now with social media. If you share a certain thing or you say a certain thing or you associate with certain people, you automatically get deleted, you get blocked. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not cool with that. Like, if it's a social media platform, you should be able to be social. And unless it's something that's obviously wrong, like mutilating bodies or something like that, I wouldn't want that shared on my platform. But if it's just an idea, just, hey, I agree with this candidate or I agree with this politician, you should go ahead, do you. Just know that if you have a platform and your fan base is against that, you're kind of treading in dangerous waters. But if you want to post it, go ahead.
It's really strange, right? Though, like the way it is now in comparison to where it used to be. It's like
there's such thing as a cancel culture. Like, you have to be careful what you got to say.
No, you know what it does? It kind of pushes you back to your local space. Like, that's what it does. It's like, oh shoot, like there's so much chaos and so many different thoughts being thrown around, so many different videos, so much content. There's so much content, bro. Nowadays, you can look up for like diets, all different kinds, hundreds of different diets, hundreds of different.
You can lose 20 pounds in over 30,000 different ways.
Hundreds and hundreds of different vitamins. Yo, I want B12. All right, you got thousands of options of B12, and they're all saying.
Do you want B12 with gargamine, zetamine, phytamine, vitamine?
Wow.
It's like, what do you mean?
It's like even if they did tell you all that, it'd still be like, what do you mean? When you read the stuff on there, you can't even pronounce some of the stuff. You're like, what is that?
That's what I mean. Like, I tried to mention it, but somehow every helpful drug that they add to it ends with mean. So you have to take it. It comes with vitamin.
And you're
like, oh, well,
you know what I mean? Right at the end.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Oh shit, you got not mean in here.
I got not mean.
I understand that.
Shoot.
Sign
me up.
Yes. I got 5. No. Not mean. Sure, I'm gonna get some not mean.
And it's green.
Oh. Not mean. You learn one thing and now you like throw it around like you know what you're talking about. Yeah, it has Nameen on it.
It has Nameen.
Nameen.
And Gargamine. Just to make it sound smart.
And Gargamine. That's like, ooh, you just crossed over to professional level. Wow.
It's not even a word either.
You're a doctor
I'm
now.
telling you, just put anything in front of mean and they'll be like,
wow,
he knows the stuff. Especially if you're like trying to be a trainer and be like, oh, simple. Just add a little Gargamine.
Add some Gargamine
into your coffee.
Yeah.
You lose 30 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Top secret. Nobody knows about this.
Everybody's going to be going to the store.
What? What is it?
Where can I find Gargamine? like, sir.
It's
or
in
ma'am.
the Hispanic aisle.
It doesn't exist. It's in the Hispanic aisle. Look for Goya.
Look for Goya.
Right there on the right.
It's in the bodega down the corner street. It's only in this one bodega.
Yep. Just ask for Juan.
Which one?
Exactly. Which one?
One of them.
Juan of them. Okay? Juan of them. Just checking.
Oh, yeah. So nowadays, you know,
you can get your Gargamine.
Facts. It's funny because do you remember at one point the Da Vinci Code was a threat? It was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe they put this crazy. Yeah, remember it was like, oh,
it wasn't even real.
This is a crazy threat.
It was
our
a straight
faith
fictional book.
Oh man, it was like this big controversy. Like, oh, look how conniving.
Yo, I remember when I first heard that, how they were like, this is a perversion of the Bible.
Oh my goodness!
And I looked up the book, Da Vinci's Code, and literally it said fiction.
It's like
so it's literally right on the cover. It's not real. The guy is creating a story based on the Bible, taking references from the Bible and creating this whole new thing, Da Vinci Code.
And it actually had people like both Christians and non-Christians all like, stirred up.
Straight bugging.
Non-Christians was like, oh my goodness, that is a possibility. That it can absolutely be true. Oh yes, I believe it. Matter of fact, and then they actually started.
My cousin comes from Jesus' line. I can prove it.
Started like, they actually started following up on the storyline, the fictional storyline, and they were like making it like this real thing. Like, yo, look at this. It's actually true, right? Whatever. And then you had the Christians on the other side, like, oh. This is a tool. Like this is gonna fool them. And I remember
finally we'll be able to disprove the Bible. Sorry,
I remember
Da Vinci Code is fake.
Yeah, I remember that that whole controversy, that whole stir up. And not a few days ago, I watched it at my pop's crib. Yeah, I had my oldest watch it with me, and I wanted to see what her thoughts were on the movie. But she was able to pinpoint all the flaws of this thing. Conversation. Pops was going back and forth. What's up, Pops? He listens to the show. We love you. Here, this is for you.
Well, don't tell me he was on like agreeing side. Like
no. It was actually dope because we were actually talking about the Bible, like just the facts of the Bible versus the movie we were watching, right? And then I started thinking, like as we're talking, like Amadi's like, oh okay, oh yeah, like she's like picking up on it, like, oh yeah, she knows, she's able to discern those things, right? But then I'm thinking about it, I'm like, wow, at some point this was like a big thing at one point. And I'm like, nowadays, because me and my pops was like, oh yeah, a lot of people took this. I was like, nowadays they don't care. Like you don't have to prove anything because they don't even care about it. Like there's no reason to disprove, which is sad and kind of scary, right? Because at one point it was like this major thing, but now it's like, it's fading. Like, yo, everything supernatural and religious is fading. Notice that?
Now the wokeness, now you try to bring that the Da Vinci Code, like, first of all, Christianity is binary and I'm not even stuck.
It's almost like, at one point it was like an attack toward it. Like you had the Marilyn Mansons, the Antichrist guy. You had all these people like, the more you look like a Satanist, the more like the pop culture was like, oh my goodness, wow, the controversy, whoa. Eminem came out, was as nasty as he could be with his music or whatever, like just grimy with his stuff, filthy, and everyone was like, oh wow, everyone was after it. And now it's like, I don't know. Now it's like it's not a big deal with your Christianity. Like going against Christianity is not a big deal. We just literally got lumped up with everybody else. Like it's not even like a major thing to attack anymore. You notice that? Like most of the issues I used to see in the past was how you say it?
Evangelical?
Evangelical, like rappers, hip hop, like back in the day, CHH. Evangelical, everybody, it was Christians trying to infiltrate the world. Like you saw it everywhere.
Yeah.
You saw James White debating and this and that, and it was open public conversations and embracing theology and doctrines. And that, you saw everybody that was like, Christianity was like evangelize and go out there, be the light. Now they're like all fighting each other. And you don't even see the, like, unbelievers don't even care. They're like, well, whatever. Like, we're going to go over here
I'm an unbeliever.
and we're going to talk about, it got, what I'm saying is it got drowned out. It used to be a highlighted theme. It used to be a highlighted theme, and now it got drowned out with just all the other news. It's not even like a thing anymore, like a thing to highlight anymore.
You think a part of it is like COVID? Like it kind of silenced everything?
I think the division.
Because I noticed it too.
I think it was all about isolation and division. Notice how it was not only social on the platform that didn't change, but it was our lifestyles that changed up. Yeah. It was our personal lifestyles that got isolation, lack of fellowship.
And you know what's crazy about that is like
people not going to church.
Even the people who are championing that, like on social media, like being the social warriors of like the theology, like, no way, you're gonna make sure you get this correct. Even they quieted down. When you would think that now more people online because there's nothing else to do.
It makes me question. So
even they.
So like, what? So did. So was. So it is me making the decision to get away from social media. Is that an attack or a strategy from the dark side?
What do you mean?
Is that a strategy from the enemy? Yeah. Is that a strategy from the enemy? Like get us to think it's a waste of time. Step out of here. And now there's no influence on the social media. You know what I'm saying? Like it had me thinking, like, wait a minute, is that the strategy? Is that what it is? The isolation, the division, the uncertainty of what can I post?
But think of it
I
like
might offend somebody. I might lose an audience.
If
or
that's a
whatever.
plan, that's crazy because
I'm gonna walk on eggshells.
If you think about it, before we had social media, let's try to think back because we're old enough, but we're also young enough.
I got the lines open too. I'm trying to keep my eyes on the lines. So, but go ahead.
We're also young enough to, still be where we are and continue this this fight.
Yeah.
But we're also old enough to be able to think back in these days where social media didn't exist. And don't you remember society being much closer? Like people were just much closer. Like
right. Yeah.
Friends, relationships, they were more meaningful. Where now you would think that those things would have been enriched because now you have access to more people. You have it's quicker. You can literally say hi to someone who lives in California in seconds. You can literally see what somebody who you grew up with who now lives across the globe still see them as if they never left. And yet somehow we're more distant than ever.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if that's the plan, like you'll get them off so that way we can create this division. I would say that's a horrible plan because before social media, that's what we did. We had no choice is to create long lasting, valuable relationships. So getting off that, literally that's what's going to push you to. And I've already seen the benefit of that.
Facts.
From just being off of social media for a couple weeks. I'm seeing how like I'm paying attention.
So you off? You got off?
Oh, I've been off.
So tell me what made what caused you to make that decision?
It was just I felt like distracted. Like I finally got to the point where I felt it was distracting me from doing things that I could have been doing and a place that I could have been.
Did you think it was addiction? Like, did you?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially after, if you guys haven't seen that documentary, I highly watch it.
But do you label that addiction?
Something.
Like you yourself personally? Like you feel?
Yeah, I would definitely say it was a form of addiction because it was getting to the point where I would grab my phone without even realizing it.
Wow.
Like I would be doing something random and automatically I'm grabbing my phone and without even thinking
it's
about
just
it.
Second nature.
Just
bam.
Check Facebook, boom. Just the finger automatically.
Do you know where
does
it's at too? You know,
it's
like auto.
My phone.
Bam! I know it's there. I know it's there. I know it's here.
And after that, I was like, "Yo, this is a problem." And then after that, after I realized that, I'm like, "This is weird." Like I've never felt like, what the heck? Did I really just go into this Facebook without even thinking about this, already that had me on alert. And then I just started really looking into what I'm looking at, like really diving into Facebook and what is taking so much of my attention and time. And I literally got like grossed out. And please don't be offended for those who were following me. It's not. After I said it, I'm like, let me rewind that.
Eggshells.
Let me rewind that.
That's what I'm talking about. You see?
This is why.
Yeah.
Remember when we had the dude, the lawyer, who was talking about networking?
Network kill. Yeah.
That is why I was disgusted, because all I saw was, look at me.
I got you.
Look at me.
I got you.
Look at me.
Yeah.
Every one that I zipped by was, look at me.
Yeah.
Look what I'm doing.
Tough.
Look what I'm eating. Look where I'm at. Look,
Tough.
me.
Yep.
And I'm like,
Yep.
I want, if this is about social media and it's about social gatherings and being around people and connecting with people, then I should be receiving something and they should be receiving something from me.
I like that.
And I looked at my page and I'm like, I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Look at my daughter. Look at my son. Look at my music. Look at me. Look at my hat. Look at my shirt. I'm like, I'm not providing.
We want them to look at our hats.
Yeah, the music. And this hat right here.
Look at the hat. Yes.
Look at this hat.
Look at the hat. Look at it well.
Buy it.
Please look at it.
Check it out.
D2LProductions.com.
And we got more coming.
Word. Definitely
I don't know
look
why
at
my
the hat.
voice is going up like Mickey Mouse.
Go ahead.
But anyway,
So,
like,
yeah.
I just saw just so much look, and not enough value. This is
Look at
valuable
the
right
hat.
here. This has value. It
Okay,
keeps your
yeah.
head
So
warm.
tell me.
But it
not
provides
everything.
value.
Was it everything? Like, all of it?
No. But
So
it was a
explain
majority
it.
of
Explain it. Okay.
It was just a good majority. And like I said, for those who enjoy that and you love posting your stuff and posting your life, hey, that's all power to you. But when I looked at myself, I was like, what? Why am I sharing all these pictures and all this stuff with people that majority of them I don't even have a real relationship? Like, am I really posting this and somebody's gonna come to my house and spend some time with me because of the posts that I did? Like, is somebody gonna call me and have a dope conversation because I posted my daughter or I posted my son?
Man.
Like, yo,
Some people,
man,
I gotta admit, some people do.
Oh, if it happens,
I've posted,
and you know what? You're
I
right.
posted, and
You're right.
people hit me up.
There's
bro.
a few people that do
call me,
but I have 3,000 something people in my thing.
and Gil's like, 3,000 people didn't respond.
For real?
Why am I on here?
It's a waste of my time. My endorphins.
It was actually a decision based on selfishness.
So I left.
It wasn't discernment.
Okay.
You guys don't want me here.
If you don't
then I
want
won't
to
be
like
here.
my pictures and be my friend, I could get to 5,000. There's 2,000 of you that don't like me.
Remember those posts that people used to say, I have 5,000 friends and I only got this many. Remember?
Yo, that's legit. Yo, let's talk about it. That is actually a complaint. And if you complaining about that, if you're looking at your 5,000 friends and you're like man, I only got like 3 likes and I got 5,000 friends. You need to delete your page right now.
It's a problem.
Right now.
It's a major.
Go to your Facebook
it's
and
a
delete
major
it.
problem. Please
You have
get
problems.
off of it. You don't want to.
You are literally
don't want to do it.
yelling at people for not clicking a heart button. You have problems, and you should delete your page.
That's why
right now.
the most nerve-wracking thing you can do is if I get 5,000 likes, I'll share my
I'm gonna
music
share
video.
this song.
You got it, you got to gauge it just right. You're like, man, I don't think.
And
I'll
I'm
get
sure that's not
5,000.
how they sound.
You
But
feel
that's how they sound to me.
You can't be desperate, but you got to look like, all right, you got enough people that will like that much.
Yeah.
So you got to gauge
it's
it.
kind of desperate, but you're flexing at the same time. It's just like, I don't know how to release this.
Yo, if
you guys give me 200 likes, guess what? I'm dropping this video.
Yo, that's why you always, like an independent artist would be like, yo, 5 likes? No.
Just think about this.
Yo,
for y'all artists that do
likes
this.
And this is dropping.
Beyonce going on her page and saying, guys,
if I get, how about this? If I get 1 impression,
give me 1 impression and watch what's gonna happen.
If this
with
crosses
album.
one person's newsfeed, I'm definitely gonna drop this.
If you guys are professionals, you guys should be looking into marketing dollars. You should be looking into, publicists and how to get your stuff out there effectively. This is how the industry
you're trying to
works.
do gems? All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Don't be doing this whole, if you give me 300
Let me ask
likes.
you something. Can I ask you something? Real talk.
What's up?
Is there a need? See, we were always taught you have to always have social media presence. Always.
It's not true. Well,
You
yes
have to
and no.
always have social media
Yes and
presence.
no. I'll say yes because you can have social media without all
Let
the
me ask you
drama.
something though. What's the social media presence? Tell me what that means to you.
You know, posting steadily, making sure your fan base knows that you're providing something for them. You know
Content.
what I mean? Like content, creating content on
Okay,
your
why?
platform.
What's the content do?
Well, the content is for the consumption of your fans.
Okay, your fans, right? Who
Yeah.
just want to what do the fans want? What's the content doing for your fans?
Whatever it is that you provide. I don't know. So if
What's
you-
the idea? Besides just, I know it's content to a fan, but what's the idea of the purpose behind a content to a fan?
Well, if they enjoy your art, then that's something that they want. You know, they enjoy your music, so they enjoy your speeches or your review, whatever it is that you provide. They enjoy your take. Like,
Let me
or
ask you
your
something. When you follow
contribution.
a celebrity on, let's say, Instagram, right?
Yep.
Because you made a decision to follow celebrities.
Yeah.
What are you following them for? Just to have them in your radar if they're gonna drop a movie or whatever or an update.
Yeah.
Or,
So like I follow
So you-
Netflix or stuff like that because, you know, whenever they drop something new, they announce it. And I have Netflix, so I want to know.
so you follow as much as you can just to get updates through your newsfeed.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially if it's
So
people
if
that
somebody's not posting all the time, but then they post in it and you come across it, are you like, yo, wait a minute, this dude hasn't been posting this whole time. I'm not gonna go peep that.
I like. No.
Okay. So then
But that what the idea is that you have to have a social media presence so that you have that scenario.
what scenario?
The fact that somebody's like, oh, he posted something, I'm gonna go check it out regardless.
Okay, yeah, but how does that post come across your newsfeed?
By subscribing or
Uh-huh.
you know, whatever. Following.
Ultimately, it's algorithms that decide what's going to be in front of your followers. So I got a Facebook page.
Mhm.
I got whatever I got. Let's say 5,000 followers on my Facebook page, whatever it is. And I post something on Facebook, just an organic post. That's not posted to 5,000 followers. Basic stuff. I know most of
But if
the
you-
audience knows, but maybe
But your artist
youngins
page
don't know. I don't know.
Your artist page does go to every single
But I'm
person
trying to
that's-
make a point though. So go ahead.
Your artist page though, it does go to every single person that follows you.
No, it does not.
On your artist page?
No, it
Yes,
does not.
does.
It does not
If
go
they
to every single
subscribe-
person. No, it does not. It still goes according to algorithms. It doesn't serve them all up. That's why you got to see. Good. I'm glad I brought this
That
up.
doesn't make any sense.
It makes perfect sense. It does not go to every single follower that follow or that likes your page. It only goes to a certain percent based on how much they engage with it.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. 'Cause
Does
you only
not
see those
guarantee
certain
that
amount of
everybody
people.
sees that stuff. So
true.
you're posting every single day. You're posting every day because what? Because you were taught that you have to have social media presence. And it's going to less than, I don't know what the percentage is, but it's small because the whole idea behind it is trying to push you to pay for ads. Do you want to guarantee that everyone's going to see your stuff? Then you pay for ads. That's how you guarantee that everyone's going to come across because Facebook is going to continue to serve them
And even then,
until they swipe by
depending
it.
on how much you pay, determines how many of them will be exposed. Because it tells you pay this.
Well, you know what it tells you too?
8,000 to this, or you get 100 to 200 people.
So think about that. So
That's
you're posting. So what? So ultimately, if that was the
You're
goal,
posting for no reason.
there you go. That's what I'm
You're
saying.
posting for no reason. Well,
That's-
you're posting for the few people.
You're
few,
posting
the
for a
few.
few people.
The few.
You are posting for a few people.
And the few are chosen.
It doesn't look. It does. It's not a discouragement to have a social media presence. You know, that's not what it
You
is.
just got to pay to play.
But in all actuality, you don't need to be slaving over social media. If okay, ready? Here you have one artist over here. I'm gonna have a social media presence and push to as many organic algorithm numbers the system decides to push to because it doesn't go to everybody. So you have a social media post to the few that engage with you. Cool. That's cool. Or friends and real fans, treating it respectfully for what it's used for. Some fans are, liking and engaging and want to see that. Family and friends too. If they follow
But they
your
also do
career
it
too.
They do that also too because even though the algorithm does cap you, the few people that the percentage allows, if they share it,
Oh yeah, then it reaches a little bit more.
I think that's the
it's organic. It's
that's
all
the strategy.
organic.
If you keep on having a
most
social media
people
presence,
don't though. Like
those people that are following, the few that the algorithm allows, there's a stronger possibility
if they engage with it,
that they'll share it and engage.
If they engage with it,
but if you don't post all the time, then it's not something they check for. So that, or even if they do see it, they may not say, "I'm not gonna hop on his page." Because he hasn't posted in a long time, they're gonna say, "I'm not gonna go to his page because."
All right, so
when
that's
was the last time he posted something that I actually cared for? So,
okay, so there's my point. But you're diving like deep into that concept. But I'm just trying to say, just for the sake of what I'm trying to say, you have one artist, social media presence every day to his organic reach every day. You have another artist, doesn't even care. He has social media, he has everything lined up right. But this dude, he pays money for his ads. And everything is pointing back to his site. Everything has a reason. Everything has a purpose. It's not just what's up, what's good, but he has a strategy with what he's doing to serve up his people. The strategy is not to manipulate the people. He just knows how to operate the right way with the money. He knows how to operate. So it guarantees that it's going to get in front of the people that he needs to get it in front of. Whether it's his fans, I'm going to serve you up, you're going to get it, or possible new fans. I'm going to pay because I want to grow this out. Tending to the garden. One of them is hoping I'll produce fruit. I'm just going to keep watering this. Like one of them is just hoping he's going to produce fruit. The other one is tending to his garden the way it should. I'm going to post when I feel it. I'm not a slave to anybody but Christ. I'm not a slave to algorithms. I'm not a slave to social media. I'm not even a slave to my fans. And if my fans are really my fans, they know what I represent. And they're going to love the decision that I'm making because neither do they want me to be slaves with them.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying?
If they care.
So he's not enslaved to those things. He posts freely when he wants to post to keep everybody updated with the things he wants everyone to keep updated. But for the most part, he sees it as tending to his garden. This is a blessing that my God has given me with. This is a blessing, this talent. I can utilize these systems, but I'm not going to slave over this thing. I'm going to use it the way it's supposed to be used. This is my business page. Yeah. That's my artist page. That's my business page. If it's ministry, it's business. It's like, that is business. That's God's business. Get rid of all that thought. Business is business. Yep. I'm trying to grow this. Like there is this sense of responsibility for this thing. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
So, do you have to have a social media presence? I mean, I would. It depends on the platform. YouTube, like Ruslan. Go to Ruslan. His relies a lot on content. Yep. YouTube is heavy on content. Breaking up your content, reposting your content. Breaking up an hour like what we were doing at one point. Mm-hmm. But the Lord woke us up a little bit, so it's like, but what we were doing at one point, cutting up all these segments and the hustle mentality. When you do that, it actually works. Like that, the algorithms go because YouTube is trying to tell their people, get on. You know why they're saying that? You know why they're saying get on? Because what does YouTube do to you every now and then?
What do you mean?
When you go on YouTube, what does it do to you every now and then?
It hits you with ads and ads and ads.
Not just ads, and then it tell you the YouTube thing that you could pay for the YouTube whatever it's called. Like you could pay for that.
Oh, the YouTube TV or whatever.
Yeah, you get hit with that too.
Yep, all the time.
So they already got you locked because you got you subscribed, you locked in, whatever. They already got you locked. You're using YouTube, but they're still trying to.
I think it's so that you don't
double down on that money.
Ads free, it's ads free, so that
you
buy the
now them
premium.
Now them ads are getting super long. It's like,
man, I gotta sit it was through. Like 5 seconds.
I know.
Now they're like 30.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta wait for a half a minute for this. It is always a commercial that you don't even care about.
And you're like,
it's like, would you like to take urethra?
Every now and
it'll help you with your back pain. All the way down to your calves.
Do you want some Yamin? It's the best vitamins out in the market right now.
It's always some vitamin. I'm like, what? I don't want to see this. And it's the same ads you used to see when you had cable. That long list of like the side effects. Yeah. It'll kill you. It'll put you in a coma.
It'll put you down.
You'll have dry mouth for 48 days. You're like, what?
You have dry mouth for 48 days.
Man, why would you want to take any of these?
I don't want
None
dry
of it
mouth.
sounds good.
I wanted to take this to have some kind of
it'll relieve
benefits.
your back pain, but it'll
All
make
this
you
is
bleed.
problems.
Like, wait, I don't want to bleed.
That's fun. All right, we're gonna jump into our featured track. Shout out to 520, by the way. This is actually a presentation by 520, first collaborative of the year, with microphone through it all, featuring Weez, the Satellite Kid. Here we go.
Trials gonna come, but we can't run away from them. You can't get around them either. Just gotta go through them, you know. Tomorrow ain't promised, so I'ma wake up and get it today. Put my faith in the Lord and just pray that He's leading the way. Cause heaven knows I'm setting goals never met before. The enemy trying to get to me is now my stepping stone. And I done came too far to lose it now. Every day before today was proving grounds. Talking fights with lust and I've been losing rounds. Not a lawyer, but boy, I've been through some trials. Losing the cell, not sure if I'd ever be getting out. Reading scriptures about freedom in jail, could breathe out. But my God got me through it, He was with me. And then I really almost blew it. He led me to the finish and never dropped me. Now nobody could ever stop me. I was in the fire, came out with no ashes around me in the deepest waters. No life jacket was really drowning till I shift my focus to the one who can really stop it. Like the fire,
been through the flood. Whole squad maneuver like we get it from the mud, and the way that we said it like we get it from the dub. Dirty need a whole lot of dub. Fire licking furious and flooded had its angles. Thankful that I never got entangled. Thank you for a gift of your love. Dirty need a whole lot of love.
never back down. I stand up on 2 feet when I'm back down. Come up swinging like Bruce Lee. Can't slack now. Made different denim, got new jeans. Every last trial I thought would kill me just grew me. See, I came from the bottom, got it right out the mud. Every day a different fight. I had to put on them gloves to wear hate. The same time the pastor tell me to love. It was Christ, so I reached out to the one that's above. And He came and freed me, washed the dirty, cleaned me. In the flood He seen me drowning. Now I'm swimming in that same water. People think it's so outlandish. I'm sitting in His presence, made me so outstanding. But I promise you, if you believe the Lord's with you, then you'll defeat the hardest stuff. And you'll perceive that all this love supersedes all this stuff. And you can get through anything like that.
Been through the flood.
Yeah.
Whole squad maneuver like we get it from the mud.
Yeah.
And the way that we said it like we get it from the dub.
Yeah, dirty need a whole lot of dub.
Fire licking furious and flooded had its angles.
No matter what it
Thankful
look
that I
like,
never got entangled.
you gon' get
Thankful
through
for a
it.
gift of your love.
Cause He got
Dirty
it.
need a whole lot of love.
keep
Been
on.
through the fire, been through the flood. Whole squad maneuver like we get it from the mud. And the way that we said it like we get it from the dub. Dirty need a whole lot of dub. Fire licking furious and flooded had its angles. Thankful that I never got entangled. Thank you for a gift of your love. Dirty need a whole lot of love.
That's what's up. Hitting claps, microphone through it all, featuring Weez, Satellite Kid, presented by 520. Shout out to 520.
Yeah.
Cool. So Gil, oh, go ahead. No, what? What's up? You got something to say?
That's what it said.
Huh? What did you want to say?
What just happened?
Did you
That's how you
forget
know
I was
you-
live?
That's how you. That's how you know
What did-
that this is a Spanish house.
What were you gonna say?
In the middle of some,
Oh,
just in the middle.
yo,
Of, hey, hold on.
hey, guys,
That's everything.
hey,
Really dope.
what do you think?
That was his wife, by the
Babe,
way.
we're live.
That dude. That you
Oh, that dude! Wow, bro.
Hey,
Hey, what was that?
like what was that? That was his wife. That was some really nice merch.
So I came across this tweet. It was Nicola.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Nicola.
Yep.
Uh,
Let's read it.
She tweets, Trump advocate Charlie Kirk tells Pastor Jack Hibbs of Calvary Chapel, Chino. Am I saying that right? Chino Church?
I believe so.
I don't want to be disrespectful, goodness. But it says Chino Church, no?
Yeah, that's Chino
All right,
Church.
Chino Church. That
I,
rapper Lecrae
I hope they don't pronounce it as Chino.
should never... Chino? No, stop that. The rapper Lecrae should never be allowed to perform at a Christian church again because he campaigned for pro-choice Dem Sen Raphael Warnock.
Yeah.
There's a video to go with it. Let me play it real quick.
I mean, there's an honest assessment that needs to be done. As I mentioned, this church did everything right. And if every church was as prayerful and alert and involved as this church, especially in this last election, things would have looked a lot differently. You especially look at the state of Georgia. State of Georgia, where you have pastors that are coming out and they are saying, we don't like the whole culture war Christianity thing. We're not going to get involved in this.
Oh, no,
not that long.
Sure.
When we know the stakes, and now all of a sudden you see the stakes of what happened, where you have the Christian rapper Lecrae, who comes out and campaigns for Raphael Warnock, the pro-abortion advocate. Oh, no. That's the guy who we're listening to on K-Love, Lecrae, who we're supposed to look up to, who, in my personal opinion, should never be allowed to perform at another church after advocating for Raphael Warnock.
Heard that again? All right, let me bring it back.
Who comes out and campaigns for Raphael Warnock, the pro-abortion advocate. Oh, no. That's the guy who we're listening to on K-Love, Lecrae, who we're supposed to look up to, who, in my personal opinion, should never be allowed to perform at another church after advocating for Raphael Warnock.
Wow.
Who, for Lecrae, who's a Christian rapper, he wanted to be loved and accepted by the Democrat power establishment more than standing up for truth, the pro-abortion Raphael Warnock. So you're exactly right.
Rather than standing up for truth. Yeah. What do you think, Gil, as a Republican representative?
I felt like that take was spot on. No, that's just too light.
You got prepped before we started the show, man.
Sort of. Because I knew you were going to bring this up. And I knew you were going to call me the Republican on the show.
Yes!
You hold to the same beliefs.
You trying to call me out?
So, I mean, I don't know. Honestly, honestly, I really don't know Lecrae's stance. He's saying that he campaigned. Like, that's a strong word. Campaign meaning like he was out there protesting. He was out there shaking hands. He was out there like, like really in the community.
Was he campaigning though?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like he said Lecrae was campaigning.
Let's put the tweet back up. So
he was campaigning for the dude. So if that is true, and he was well aware that this politician was for these things, that is troubling. You know what I mean? And I don't know. Like I would not be campaigning for somebody that I disagree with their views. Now, I've seen other posts, I've seen other YouTubers or whatever that have kind of commented on this situation. And they've read some of his replies, and he was like, I'm on the right side of history, and just to clarify, the right side of anti-racism, nationalism, hate, and all this other stuff. He went down the line of all these things that, based on his decision on who he voted for, who he, quote unquote, campaigned for, were, good people, and, and I know from his post, he definitely didn't vote for Trump. So he clearly voted for the Democrat side. So I've seen a lot of other YouTubers coming at him, Christian YouTubers, for the same thing. Saying, how can you call yourself as a Christian and support a party or candidate or senator, as this is, that advocates for things that are anti-Christian, but yet post that I am on the right side and I'm against anti-Christian, anti-this, anti-that. It doesn't quite fit the same party as far as the anti-things he's talking about. He even said anti-pro-choice. That side is not anti-pro-choice. You know what I'm saying? They are pro-choice.
There's a lot of different, when you say that, like, it doesn't just imply one thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it also, there's other things within that, when you start getting into the meat of it, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like, there's some complicated situations where they talk about like rape and stuff like that, and different situations, right, that happen. And I'm not saying, that's all right or whatever. Like, I honestly, like, I haven't put enough thought into that whole thing. Like, I hear people talking about it, but it hasn't hit. Like, I got things that I'm doing. I'm not saying that I shouldn't have an opinion on it. It's just I haven't really pondered it that deep. I know that abortion, as far as like just what it is, like murking a baby, like that's wrong, obviously. You know what I'm saying? But it does go into like some more complicated things. You know what I'm saying? So even that has to be more specific. Like what is what does he see this as? How are you doing this? Like complications, birth complications. What do? You have to save one or the other. Like there has to be some black and white in certain or in those gray areas. There has to be some sort of I'm not saying leniency, but in some cases you have to make a decision, and you can't say that it's a crime to do something that might save one of their lives, because now you're stopping them from making that decision. Yeah, because we can't do it.
But
Sorry.
I think
you get what I'm saying.
I think,
it gets complicated.
I
when
think
you
when
start.
it comes to the health of the human being, like of the mother or whatever, I think that's a different conversation. Now, you could.
I'm not trying to get into that argument. I'm saying that argument exists.
Well, it's a valid argument too. 100%.
So then when you just say
argument, but what I think the majority of the arguments are always in the statistics of the chances of it always being a rape situation or a health situation is a lot smaller than the average that we have today. The average that we have today on the majority of abortions are not because of complications or because of health. Or because of whatever.
Let me ask you this:
for the majority, it's just not convenient.
Let me ask you this: is all Democrats pro-choice? Like as soon as you're Democrat, you're pro-choice.
I can't say yes or no because I don't know. I would say no. I would say I think there are some Democrats who are against abortion. They just hold to other policies, but just like I believe there
is that true? Anybody in here?
I will say that because I've come across Republicans that believe
some of the Democratic way. Oh, okay.
Right. That are pro-choice. They're like, I'm Republican,
so that doesn't.
But I do believe that women have the choice to
see
do
how
what they do.
You see, so
that's why I wouldn't say no. Democrats all believe it. Like no, I wouldn't.
So
say
then, what's the importance of saying Democratic Senate? Like,
because he's saying this specific guy is an advocate for abortion. It's not,
but what's the importance of like just putting that title on him though? Because it almost like implies that.
Well, because
this Democratic is like almost like this
talking about
it's like cussing him out. You know what I'm saying? Like
because the majority do believe
Democratic Senate, like it's
just like the Republicans. The majority of Republicans believe abortion is wrong. The majority. But there are a few that are against it. And they're like, no, I don't think we should choose the rights of a woman. Like, we should allow them to choose for themselves. It's just like Democrats. A lot of them say, no, women automatically should have the choice. But there's a few in there that are like, no, we're murdering babies. So, but the majority do believe that. The vast majority of Democrats are pro-choice. And the vast majority of the Republicans are against it. So that's why they say it like that. And the Democrats do the same thing. Those conservatives, the conservatives just want to control. They use the same energy,
bro.
But talking about each other.
You know what it does is that you never get to any kind of definition of anything specific because you just label it a category.
Yeah.
So Democratic, boom, boom, pro-choice. Do you know how much you have to break down in all of that?
Yeah.
You have to ask more questions than that. You can't just Democratic Senate pro-choice. Bam. Done. Ha. It's not that easy.
No.
You can't just lump it up in a category and bam, throw it out, and then it is what it is. I haven't even looked into it like that. I came across it and I'm like, yo, let's talk about it. And I like to take the subjects and go around the subject. I don't even care about, honestly, I didn't care about the whole Lecrae. I don't care about that. This is a great opportunity to go around these things and dig a little bit deeper into what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in that, to be honest.
Me too.
So with that, right, that's my point here, is that you can't just throw these things around. And the same thing with Lecrae, who fired back previously with the whole situation that happened at the Capitol when the dudes rushed in.
Yeah.
And he was like, these terrorists, like he did the same thing. He was like, Trump supporters, terrorists, bam. Oh, Democratic Senate supporter, pro-choice, bam.
They all do it.
It's like category,
all do it.
Lump it all up, and bam.
These white
supremacists.
supremacists.
You're the target. You're done. Yeah. Again, going to that whole thing I was talking about the debates. Nope. Block everybody off. Silence everybody. Nobody says anything in this castle.
Yeah.
This is my castle, my rules.
It's crazy because
I'm gonna say what I want. I'm gonna mean what I want.
Because everybody knows that both sides are just as bad, but nobody wants to admit it. You know what I'm saying? Like the Trump, the Trump people,
like,
and
what happened to just?
I did support Trump. I'm not gonna lie. I'll put that out there. But it is what it is. At least when I have conversations with people, I do tell them, I understand the dude needs to put a sock in his mouth permanently. I 100% agree with you. But these are policy issues. These are the issues that I struggle with. It's not integrity issues because they both said wow stuff.
Yeah,
both of them. Trump said some crazy.
He was a clout chaser, though.
He said some crazy stuff.
He knew how to work social media.
You know how many times I put my palm to my face.
You were like, no,
for stuff that he said.
That was on purpose, man.
But at the same time, the other side, you guys have to agree how many times Biden went up there and said some hand to palm moments, like forehead moments. Like, how many times did Biden just have these crazy gaffes? Like, they all did it. They all said disgusting,
I think Pop
stupid
Dukes
things.
is in here, unless that's Robin. It's a subject that has no real answer. There'll always be controversy because of the different scenarios. The sad thing is it's used negatively in politics to push their agenda, and current president is Catholic against abortion, but his job is to help what is best for the majority of the nation and the people. So which way is best? No real answer.
Facts. You're in a country where you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
For literally everything.
Yeah, literally. There's no matter what.
Literally everything, man.
I'm really interested to see how this goes for Biden, because I feel like it's going to be the same thing. When he does something, they're going to be like, look what he did. He did it wrong again. And then he's going to do something awesome, and they're going to be like, finally, he did something awesome.
Are people still saying
There's always a complaint.
Are people still saying thanks, Obama? Like, is that still...
thanks, Obama?
Yeah, thanks, Obama. Like, is that still a thing?
I don't know, but I know that was like that
thanks,
for a while.
Obama.
Like, anything. You stub your toe. Thanks, Obama.
What was it?
Putting this bedroom frame.
El Nino came through. Something came through.
Thanks,
Thanks, Obama.
Yo, it's going to be the same thing. But now it's going to be Trump. Anytime something goes wrong, they're going to be like, thanks, Trump. Jerk.
Isn't it always the last president?
Yeah, it's whoever's last. Thanks, Clinton.
Thanks, whoever was the last
Jeez. No matter what. That's what I said. The president that's got to be the worst job ever. Because no matter what you did, you could do amazing things.
The last president messed it up for my 4 years.
As soon as you leave that office, thanks. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, George Washington.
Thanks a lot, George Washington. Jeez, Lincoln.
Thanks a lot, Lincoln.
Why don't you just trim that beard?
Thanks a lot, Christopher Columbus. No.
Since the beginning of time.
You say Aztec. Thanks a lot. No, a Mayan.
Thanks a lot, Mahakala.
Bro, that's Hawaiian, man. What in the world?
You said Aztec. It's close enough.
All right. Are you an Aztec, like, professional?
Thanks, Walla
walla bing bang. Ooh-ee. Ooh-ah-ah.
Thank you.
Yo, I think it's time to jump into another. You want to jump into another track, or you want to keep this going? All right, Lecrae. All right, well, we didn't finish it, but go ahead.
I don't know what his stance is. If he is an advocate for the, someone who is like hardcore, pro-choice, that is concerning, because you have to remember, if you're posting on your social media and you're making it known that you're anti-abortion, but you're championing someone who is.
I'm still stuck.
It's weird.
Thanks, I'm still stuck, man. I can't get over it. Yo.
Just saying, we keep going back.
to go back to the Aztecs, to the Mayans. Yeah, it wasn't even America.
The velociraptors yelling at T-Rex.
Thanks, Raptors.
Thanks, T-Rex.
Thanks, T-Rex.
Jerk.
Oh, no.
Sammy, that's it.
No.
my God.
No, I said no for him, not for you, baby, because I knew he was gonna jump with it. Oh my goodness.
Damn.
Oh, that was funny. Yeah. So so Trump, man, what do you do?
Yeah, man. So Trump.
So Trump, man.
No, so he's basically saying that he shouldn't be allowed to rap anywhere because of who he championed. I would allow for questioning and dialogue to be made first. Just like you said,
dude, this is going to be ongoing forever. It's always going to be category, lump them up. I can't believe it. Like, that's all it is. That's the strategy. Yeah. He's a this, that, and the other. Can't believe it.
Right here, this is something that I disagree with. And I like this dude. This dude that said to ban Lecrae. I've watched a lot of his lectures. He's a super smart guy.
Charlie Kirk?
Yeah, he's a super smart guy.
He even has a smart name, Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, even his name's smart. Like
Charlie Kirk. You know that was
beam him up.
You know that was a kid that you wanted as your partner in the lab.
Heck yeah,
Charlie Kirk.
His name was Charlie Kirk. I want to be his lab partner.
Go based off of names. It's like, oh, his name is
Winston.
What's his name? Winston?
Definitely, you're my partner.
Bernstein. I'm there.
I call Bernstein.
I call. It was the teacher. It's like, no, you can't. No, go ahead.
You can't partner
up with the teacher.
You can't have a lab partner and it's a teacher.
It's a scientist.
Mr. Bernstein, you said I could pick anyone in the room.
And they were doing the same thing, like, Juan. Oh, no. No, definitely not Juan. No. Yeah, this is going to be a communist situation.
Pick two. Whatchamacallit. So, yeah, I like this dude, but I wouldn't.
Pick two.
I wouldn't go this far, like how he's trying to ban him, because you don't know this whole entire story. You don't know why he campaigned for this dude. You don't know if he even knew that he was a pro-choice dude. Like, I don't. Nowadays,
facts.
Actually, people don't do their research nowadays.
Good
now
point.
people just like, I like what he said.
Was that pure gossip?
Huh?
Was that pure gossip?
No, what I would say is that he is kind of practicing cancel culture, which is something I don't agree with either.
Would you consider it gossip what he did?
Gossip?
Yeah. Would you?
No, because he's not like...
He talked about somebody that wasn't there. Are we gossiping right now?
So I guess we're gossiping.
Yo, we gossiping right now.
You just ratted us out. Thank you. Yeah. We have a whole show dedicated to gossip. Because literally every week we talk about people who are not in the room.
Exactly.
Every week.
We talk about public consumption material.
No, he is addressing a issue.
Okay, I guess here's a follow-up question. Did he confront Lecrae?
That I don't know.
There we go. I guess that's a good question.
I would say that this should merit a conversation or an interview of some sort before calling this out like this.
And it's the worst person to call out, because now Lecrae is going to go on there and say...
I mean, Lecrae is going to say, take a number, because literally everybody's coming after his neck.
Yo, all the time.
Take a number, bro.
All the time.
You just...
Yo, Lecrae, I love
one of
you,
many.
Bro. I love you, man. Yo.
He's one of many, because there's everybody and their mother
shout outs to Lecrae.
is coming after Lecrae.
Yo, hand claps for Lecrae. I love you, bro.
So I would say that. I would say I wouldn't go that far, because I don't believe in cancel culture. And I don't think it's cool to have a cancel culture. So for him to be like, yo, and no church should have him, like, yo,
I don't even think
don't have that authority.
Yo, Lecrae don't even need to rap anymore either. Like we've been talking about Lecrae for how many? It's never about music. It's like
and he was like, that's what we listen to in K-Love. He was like, I haven't been on K-Love in years, man. I don't know what you're talking about. Which is true, because I listen to K-Love. I haven't heard Lecrae on there ever.
I haven't heard. Actually, Sammy, don't you listen to K-Love? Have you ever heard Lecrae?
I haven't heard Lecrae on there.
It's crazy how Feeling Like Grass was on there, though. That's
really
Feeling Like Grass. Marrio Esco,
was on K-Love. Wow. Oh, was that a shameless plug?
Oh, that was your phone. My bad.
Got it.
Correct.
That was your phone.
Correct.
That when you said it out loud.
It wasn't Feeling Like Grass by Marrio Esco Live. I mean,
by Marrio Esco Live. Marrio Esco Live Productions.
It wasn't. It wasn't. No, it wasn't that.
Oh, you'll get it, pops. Artists always influence. What if he put that in his productions? Is that now classified as campaigning?
It can be.
It could be. Yeah.
Because you know why? Because some of these, some of the politics actually reach out to artists for you know,
endorsements, like,
endorsements,
Yep.
views, whatever, you know, influence.
So that's why I'm saying I don't know what that means when he said he campaigned, because that's a big word. Like that, to me, when I hear the word
that's an actual
campaign, like you went on a tour with the dude, like you were doing appearances with the dude, you were taking pictures with the dude, you know, like commercials, like you did a video endorsement, like that's to me like, yo, he campaiged for dude. You know, like
Do you
Biden
think that's what Bryson was doing with
the
Trump?
rap battle league.
Do you think Bryson
campaigned for him? That's campaigning.
Was Bryson campaigning?
He was definitely campaigning for Trump. Bryson was like,
I hope he was getting a check.
I'm surprised he didn't become a full-time staff. Like he was like up and down. Like he actually performed at his events. Like that's campaigning.
They had the Local Bros. What up, Brandon? What's good, bro? What's up, partner?
I don't know how I should feel about that, man. Are you profiling us?
Los Locos.
Remember, we're in a very sensitive time.
Remember Johnny Five? Los Locos. You remember that?
Was it
Johnny Five?
Yes. Did he say that?
Los Locos kick you.
Oh, he
into
did.
outer space.
Dang, that's a throwback.
Remember Los Locos?
No,
Yo, Los Locos. Thank you, Brandon. That's what's up, man. Los Locos. That's my dude.
That's a brand right there.
That's a brand. That's the title. Los Locos. Is it just like that?
Awesome.
Los L-O-S?
Los Locos.
L-O-C-O-S?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Yes.
Thanks, Brandon.
Yeah, so what were we talking about? Yeah, I lost my spot.
So he's campaigning.
So campaigning, yeah. So Bryson
Yo,
definitely
Brandon,
was
we're talking about Lecrae supposedly campaigning for, what's his name? Demsen Raphael Warnock.
Democrat
Sounds like a
senator.
Demsen.
He's a Demsen.
Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock.
He's Demsen.
And he said, what's his name? Charlie Kirk tells the pastor
that they should not allow him
Lecrae
to perform
should never
at
perform
church.
at any church ever again.
Yeah.
Because he's supporting Demsen.
Well,
pro-choice.
Pro-choice.
Demsen,
Like he made sure that's the main thing.
It's all part of the category.
Yeah.
Cool.
That he is a pro-choice senator. He campaigned for the guy. Now, like I said, I would need to know the extent of the word campaigning. Like, what is that? What do you mean by
Charlie Kirk? What is this? Is he a Christian?
Charlie Kirk, yeah.
All right, so he's a pastor.
I don't know if he's a pastor.
Because you said you were familiar with him.
Yes, like I follow his page, but I've never heard him say he's a pastor.
Is he a political Christian?
Definitely.
So this is one of them.
He campaigns a lot at.
I don't know how
Christian
I feel about political
and
Christians,
stuff like
bro.
that. He goes to all types of colleges, but he also goes to Christian colleges too, and those are the ones where he really goes heavy in like theology and politics. And he even makes an argument that Christians should be involved in politics.
This dude, of course,
a lot of
he's
Christian
a Republican
figures,
campaigner. He's a political figure,
and he uses a lot of Christian figures in the Bible that stood up to tyranny and things that were wrong government wise, not like sin.
So what about the
that.
dispersion? Like when they all ran?
What do you mean?
Like when they were when they all ran into the wilderness because their lives were threatened.
Well, I'm not the guy who holds this position. You have to ask Mr. Kirk.
I'm just asking. I'm just throwing it out there.
I don't know.
Right,
I personally don't agree.
I don't think you to argue.
I don't think Christians should be heavily involved in politics like this. Like that's my opinion. Like yes, you should know your stuff. Yes, you should understand what policies and what candidate follows what and laws.
To me, as
that
soon as
I agree with. But I'm talking about like campaigning, like going places and essentially preaching your party, whatever. I don't know. Like I feel like there's a better time, like especially if you're Christian, preaching. Like ultimately, is you telling someone that it's theologically sound for you to vote and it's theologically sound for you to fight against certain policies or whatever, is ultimately that person being edified? Is that person, being convicted and coming to Christ? If you're a Christian, I'm saying, like, because I know this dude, Kirk, he's everywhere. He is going to campuses. Brandon is said, traveling all over the place.
Be knowledgeable, but I'm out. Not for me. Hello.
Yeah, like, going out there and campaigning and going to college campuses and going to this place and that place and this place, and it's all politics. He's not going to preach. He is dissecting Biden's plans because he's a Republican. He's dissecting every policy of Biden and saying why it's wrong and this and that. Like, his whole career is on that. He gets invited. They pay him to do this. That's where I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I believe a Christian should be this involved. Like, this involved.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, if it comes up in a sermon and someone asks, like, hey, what about voting? Then yeah, say, yeah, I believe Christians should vote because of X, Y, and Z. But is the power of your message really going to come from dissecting Biden's plan?
Let's say you're a pastor and you have a member in your church that doesn't believe in any voting at all. Nope, I never vote, never will. Nope, it's all lies. Are you gonna pull him aside and say, sir, I need to confront you of your sin?
No, because it's not.
And
I
need to practice church discipline.
Voting is what people say.
Are you gonna be like,
voting is what people say is something that you should do? You know, because it's the smart thing to do because you want to have some sort of control.
So if you don't do it, it's a dumb decision.
No, they would say it's not. It's a poor decision. I wouldn't say dumb.
It's a
poor decision. They would even say it's a lack of discernment.
It's funny how
because
it's funny. You see, it's funny how you can't
it's
say
not sin.
You can't say no, but you're gonna try to put all these other things to it, so that way it's like, oh, it is sin. It's not sin, but it's poor choice and it's spitting in Christ's face. Like, you might as well just say like it's
because ultimately it's not sin, but they can't say that, but they try to paint
on
it
the Bible
in the
and throwing it in the fire.
Way.
Like, you might as well say that.
You might as well, yeah.
You can't. It's not sin, but But
this is why this is the part where I say, at least for me,
I'm like, no way out.
If you're like, for I'll say this for an example. We're in Massachusetts. Massachusetts is an automatic Democrat state, no matter what. So I'm learning this new. I didn't know this stuff. I didn't know about electoral colleges and the majority of the state or whatever, all this stuff. So I'm thinking, yo, go vote. Because every vote counts. Every vote, because if you go for Trump or if you go for Biden, make sure you vote because every vote counts. Not necessarily. Because if, let's say for me, my vote technically didn't really count because at the end of the day, they tally the votes to that state, and whatever wins in that state, those votes go to that candidate. So they say you should vote to try to overturn that. Like, the more Republicans vote, you can overturn that state and now make it a Republican state. But since forever, Massachusetts has been Democrat. Like, this never going to change. It's not changing. So I'm over here thinking like, yo, babe, we got to go. We got to vote, man. We got to make a difference. But at the end of the day, our vote never really went through because Massachusetts was one Democrat side, which is fine. But so in that regard, if somebody was to be like, oh, I don't vote, well, I would say, who do you vote for? If they're like, oh, I vote Republican, then I would say, I get it. Because regardless if you vote or not, Democrats win in this state. Sorry, hands down. This is not a state that could possibly go one side or the other. It's going Democrat. So that's where my argument will go. If there's somebody was to be like, is it sin to not vote? I would say, it depends.
So is this dude Kirk pretty much saying that Lecrae is not Christian? That's why he shouldn't be in any Christian
He's
church?
saying that a person who has a platform, who has a leading voice and has a very, very strong influence should not be invited to a church where people are going to follow suit and now be confused because he's supporting ideologies that are sinful. So, if that's the case, I'm saying this is
pretty much. He's pretty much saying like, you're Democrat, you're not Christian. That's where he stands.
No, he's saying if you're following someone who is against Christian values, then you're clearly not Christian. Because he didn't say the Democrat because he's following a Democrat. He said because he's following a pro-choice person.
Democrat.
Well, he included it, but he said the pro-choice was the main part of why he was saying he shouldn't be invited. He's like, you're advocating for someone who is clearly against Christian values.
I wonder what this event was. Like, I wish I did a little bit more research on it to give you guys some more in-depth about why this conversation even was brought up. I didn't see this whole video, so I guess, go check it out on your own accord, and
Yeah, his thing was
maybe you might find something that, gives more details about what this is all about. But as of right now, it just seems like, I don't know. It seems like a poor way of calling somebody out to me.
I agree.
This
100%.
is not, I don't think this is done in wisdom. This is done with a political agenda to me.
Yep.
That's a red flag to me. I don't care what it is.
It tastes political.
I don't care what it is. It's pro-choice. Damn son. Like, as soon as you start throwing them, I'm like, nah, bro, written off. Nope,
Yep.
nope. I'm tuning out. I don't care. Don't tell me, no, you got to read it. No, I don't know. There's too much things going on in my life for me to go chase every single. Sorry, you have to know as a man or as a grown adult when to say, I'm not going to go no further than this. I'm sorry.
Facts.
I'd rather study my word and you know what I'm saying? And prove myself. How's it say?
And see,
study your word and prove yourself.
That's my point. And that's exactly my point.
It seems like I got to study my word.
I think it would be more beneficial than for us to have theological conversations. And if we're gonna question people like he's questioning Lecrae, then let's have a theological conversation and let's talk about things that at the end of this conversation is going to edify.
How about
right now he called them out and said, if you are following Lecrae, you should not be, and if you're a church, you shouldn't allow him to preach, or not preach. You shouldn't allow him to perform at your church. What was edifying about that? What did whoever heard this speech? What did they receive out of that section of his speech?
Right.
Absolutely nothing. And that's the part where I'm like, why? Like, the only thing that makes sense to me is that it's controversial, it's political, and it's going to get a lot of clicks because it's a shock value. It's like, what? He just said
Lecrae
nobody.
He shouldn't perform in any Christian church.
That's literally his core fans. Like, that's his core. And he just made an announcement that he's coming back strong for Christian. Like, he's leaving the secular stuff. So, whoa! It's all shock value. And it just doesn't taste right. It don't taste right to me. Now, if this was a edifying thing and he was dissecting why pro-choice is bad and why it's a poor discernment for you to follow someone who is following that, you don't even have to mention names. Let the people put 2 and 2 together. Why mention names? What is the purpose of it? Now, if you're rebuking, that's a different situation. But that wasn't, to me, that didn't sound like a rebuke. That just sounded like, hey, guys, he broke the cardinal rule. Therefore, he's kicked out of our clubhouse. Don't allow him in your clubhouse. That's what it sounded like. It didn't sound like a rebuke of a brotherly rebuke.
It's strange to me because it's like it's entering the realm of politics and it's like coming.
Yeah.
It's leaving. It's actually leaving how about we do less debating and more teaching? Or if you are going to debate, it is you and that person in the same room and there's a fruitful conversation happening.
Yeah.
Like all you see, to me, I guess, if you think that you're trying to be influential with your social media platform because of the pandemic and the craziness that we've all had to partake in, all of us, one way or another, kids working remote, people losing their jobs, people losing their businesses, whatever, so on and so forth. We are not looking into the division, the divisive. That's why it's drawing people out, because people already got enough to deal with on the day to day. I don't need no more. Like, no, this is why this is wrong. Go check this article and that. No, man, no. I'm trying to take care of my family. I'm trying to decide things for my family right now. Go check this and go check that. And pay my bills and I'll go check that stuff out. How about that? Pay my bills and I'll take the time to look at the things you want me to look at. Like, so the argument and the debating is turning people away. I'm speaking about maybe a different approach is what I'm trying to say. Maybe I'll use the platform to try to encourage the few people that follow us, and maybe they can tell other people. I don't know. But the debating thing and the arguing thing is like, that's not the wave. If I was an artist and I was thinking of this like producing a track, that's my lane. Producing a track. This is where I come in. I'm a creative. I do music. You can test the landscape. You can see what's out there. You can hear the sounds that are relevant. You are in tune with the culture where it's at musically. Now I'm going to release a song. It needs to translate and communicate to the audience. So I'm thinking of the audience, and I want this to have a certain taste that's up to date. It's up to date. I'm not going to go get Tetris beats. Like that's not what I'm gonna do.
Nah.
I'm gonna be up to date. So in the same thing, like looking at the landscape as social media, you want to be influential. Right now is not the time to like put your mark in the ground and argue and because all you're doing is putting yourself in the box and preaching to the people who are going to say amen. You're preaching to your disciples.
Yep.
You're preaching to your disciples and your platform. And I would recommend, instead of the debate approach, and I'm going to knock down all his stuff and here are all my facts, bang, 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 less debating, more teaching. How about you just teach? Instead of fighting against the other dude, how about you just state simple facts that don't relate to a religion, a politician, just biblical truth? How can we go back to the basics as Christians and be the light and the salt of the earth and actually proclaim what we're supposed to proclaim? Maybe that's a thought. I don't know. I'm just a little Marrio Esco live over here, you know, just a little dude, little nobody. Maybe we can go back to the basics. Love our neighbor, proclaim the truth, be the light and the salt. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just this little, you know, artist.
I hear you, man.
You know, I'm just this little artist
and it's crazy
who's dumb and simple-minded. I'm sorry.
It's a
Forgive
lot
me.
of the platforms that used to be that way are
My
no
bad.
longer that way. Now it's this politic, you know, thing has crossed over to everyone.
I've seen
everyone.
platforms devoted
Yeah.
to the teaching of scripture
Yep.
cross over and become an entirely different entity
Yep.
fighting for political causes.
Yo, facts.
I'll you know what?
Yeah.
I'll double gem
yourself?
myself.
I've actually
Because that's
not
nothing
only
but
that,
pure facts.
but not only that, I've
Pure
actually
facts.
seen people who are a part of these pages who say it. I remember when this page used to be about God. I remember when I used to come to this platform. To this group, and I used to get scripture.
Nope.
And now all I'm seeing is political division and this and that. People
more.
arguing back and forth. Like this page is no longer edifying. Like I've seen comments after comments, and I'm like, man, it's sad. And that's
It's
another
almost
part
like-
of why I left, you know, my Facebook too. Because I'm like, I have to look. And it's crazy because majority of the people I follow were believers. Like I deleted a lot of people who were posting stuff that were completely outside of my realm. Like, whoa, this is way out there. Bye. Or I'll unfollow you or something along those lines. But then I'm like, all right, I got majority of the people of like believers like me. Cool. I'm going to be edified. No, it's like, oh, I hope y'all Trump supporters and da-da-da-da-da.
and then it
I
goes
hope
right
y'all
to-
Biden supporters. Da-da-da. Oh, I can't believe
Man.
y'all. Da-da-da-da. Oh, you better get up out of here if you're going to be posting Trump stuff. Like, what happened? Like, why are we bickering about something that makes no difference? Okay, fine, Trump wins. Cool. Does that take away from your Christianity? Does that take away from who you are in Christ? Okay, Biden wins. Okay, does that take away from you being a Christian? Does that take away from you being effective in Christ? Like, we still have a mission. Like, let's get over it. I understand it was upsetting. This whole year was upsetting. Let's move on. Like, why are we still talking about the same stuff? Like, we forget that we have a God who can save, who can heal, who can unify, who is the authority of love, who is the authority of all these things, all these riches. But we're stuck on humanistic ideologies.
Do you remember
and
the story?
policies
Do you remember
and-
the story of was it Augustine? Forgive me if I'm wrong, man. I don't know my church history like that, but I know somebody's gonna know it. I'll just say Augustine.
Yeah.
Do you remember the story of Augustine when he became a Christian?
Yeah.
What was it?
The story of him?
when he became a Christian. Do you remember his testimony? Saint Augustine.
Saint Augustine?
Augustine, yeah. Remember?
No.
I think it was him. Sorry if I'm wrong.
For some reason, when I thought of that, I thought of Spurgeon.
This dude was in his room and he heard somebody. I might have this way wrong, but I know the story. Dude was in his room and he heard. I think it was a little girl passing by outside, and the window was open, and she was yelling, "Pick up and read! Pick up and read!" And he had his Bible there with him, and he thought it was like a sign, like I got to pick up and read. And he picked up and read, and in his reading, eventually the Lord saved him.
That's pretty cool.
that moment for that person was the most important moment in his entire life. And it was somebody outside walking by saying, pick up and read. Talk about simplicity.
It was probably somebody's mom yelling at their kid.
Yeah. You better pick up and read that
You
book.
haven't read any of the summer reading.
You
Pick
better
up and read.
read.
Little did she know, God used that loud mouth to save some.
To do an amazing miracle, bro.
That's
to
crazy.
do what's most important to God. The most important thing. The thing that the only thing that he cares about is souls being saved.
Amen.
And his truth being proclaimed.
Mm.
Nothing else. Nothing else. Honoring him with your life and being the salt and the light of the world. No other battle. No other call. Go forth. Proclaim my truth and make disciples of the nations and be the light and the salt of the world. Nothing else.
Yeah.
Christ and him crucified. All I desired, all I wanted to know was Christ and him crucified. That's what he was yelling. The madman. Paul, the madman. All I want to know is Christ and him crucified. The madman. That's a crazy dude. This dude is getting beat up and locked up for proclaiming that stuff. Throwing him in jail, in prison. His life is in danger. Dude almost got killed, I don't know how many times.
Yep.
Beaten. They say in church history, they say that his body was all deformed because of what he went through. Like he had a hunchback. Like this dude was all beat up. Going from place to place, proclaiming the gospel, even to the point where he knew the prophecy was that if he went over here and he preached the gospel, went back to Rome and he preached the gospel, they're going to kill him. Everybody knew it. Everybody was trying to stop him from going back. And he was excited. I can't wait. It wasn't that he was running to his death. It's that he was running to obeying God, and they're the ones who are going to respond how they respond. That's their business. But death don't scare me. I'm not trying to go with a death wish or nothing. I'm going to go do what I got to do, and I have more faith in the one who can destroy the body and the soul. Not just my body. And he was faithful. What happened to this? Huh? This conversation. What happened to this?
For real.
Less debating, more teaching. We'll finish up with our last feature track of the day. And Gil, do you want to say anything? My bad, bro.
I can't finish it better than that, man. I'm not going to try to second that.
Yo,
I end up coming out with some whack.
No.
Some whack. I'm going to leave it on a good note.
Leave it. Yo, all right, man.
Less debating.
Some gems and
more
chuletas.
teaching.
How about that? I don't know if we had that combination back to back yet. Gems and chuletas. How about that?
Actually, I don't think you played that at all today.
Nah, right?
Once.
All right, yo. I don't know if we're gonna have a special guest next week. We'll see what's up. These last few weeks have been busy. And I had a great opportunity to proclaim the truth.
I did too.
Did you?
Ironically, today.
Oh, that's dope. Today? Was it the dude that interrupted our
Yeah.
But
that was hilarious.
But yeah, there was more urgent matters that I had to attend to. So some of you guys reached out to me. Thank you. It was a blessing, by the way. It was a blessing. Sad, but it was a blessed moment. That's all I'll say about that. But yeah. So I maybe next week we might have somebody come through. We might not. I'm not sure. I'll try to work on that. See if we can line somebody up. But yo, it was dope. Just chopping it up with you, brother, man.
Yeah, man. We always have a good time. Always have good conversations, man.
Yeah.
If y'all like,
and y'all too. Thank you, Pops, for coming in. Brandon, what's up?
Yeah, we
Frankie,
appreciate y'all.
Love y'all for coming in. Those that came in late.
Don't forget, that line is there for a reason. So
yeah,
y'all don't always got to comment. Y'all can literally call in.
774-243-0385. We're opening up the line so you guys could just call in. So
yeah, man.
if you guys want to do that, go ahead and do that. We probably won't have it open for interviews. Or yeah, I have
whenever
no way
we
to
having dialogue like this, we always gonna have it open. Why not?
Yeah,
y'all
so
wanna
that's
call in and tell them like, y'all don't know what you talking about. Be quiet. Like, I bet y'all got that.
All right, y'all. So this is BrodieDaVinci, Give Me Faith, off his album Harmony. Shout out to Rapture Ready Productions. Yeah, Yeah, till next week.
I love the Christian name productions that they have. Rapture Ready Productions, Kingdom Music Productions. Like, I love it. So creative.
So till next week, y'all. Hope you guys were blessed and had a great time. We love y'all. Grace and peace.
Peace.
It is.
Hours done passed by, and I ain't know if I could do this. Salvation was the greatest gift, God, but they saying I can lose it. If that's the case, every time I fail, they really saying grace useless. My works ain't gaining saving, so I know my works can't lose it. And I've been down in them trenches long enough to know you'll never let go. The prodigal was the picture. I'm the son, you love me all the way home. And anytime I chose sin over your word, I felt convicted. So that's the first sign that my heart lies in the right position. And no one can take me out your hand. I'm someone, so I still can't. Anyone who claimed the Lord and now saying that they walked away never truly knew the Lord, never had faith in the first place. God's death covered all sin. He will never take that gift away.
Give me faith to trust what you say, that you're good and your love is great. I'm broken inside, I give you my life.
Lord, my life, it belongs to you. I don't see no other purpose for it. No one else that I ever met came and died and took a hurting for it. Faith shaky in a cruel world. I pray for someone I feel empty. I know this world got us not my home. I know the chiefy on the field with me. Miracles get slept on in the present time like you ain't real. Cause the burning bush in the lion's den ain't coming to you if you stay still. You give me blessings in my lack of works. Unconditional the way you love. But still you calling me to do them though. I'm getting to it even though it's rough. You understand we ain't perfect. You understand we still fighting this. You understand we weren't righteous, so you covered us in your righteousness. To take that away, God, would be to say that you're flawed. I ain't with the lies or the misconceptions. I ain't living under law. I'm living up in your splendor, God, and anytime that I fall, I'm secure inside of that death gift that I know you'll never withdraw. Brody.
Give me faith to trust what you say, that you're good and your love is great. I give you my life.
If you're listening on the podcast, be sure to check out my Facebook music page, Marrio Esco 1. Again, 2 R's in my name, the number 1 at the end, Marrio Esco 1. Be sure to like and follow that page because I like to give updates on who I'll be interviewing and leave a description on what we'll be talking about. And I also like the real-time one-on-one back and forth interaction. If you don't have the time to join us on Facebook Live, be sure to check out my podcast. It's called Marrio Esco Live, 2 R's in my name. Again, you'll see the white silhouette of myself with the cross underneath. Be sure to subscribe to that and follow the link as well to whatever podcast you're using or however you're receiving the podcast, and leave us a review. We love to hear feedback. You can also hit me up at music@marrioesco.com and just hit me up with some feedback and ways that we can improve the show or the things that you like and enjoy. Any type of feedback will be highly appreciated. Grace and